walk through the door and kind of sit at the door for a second to take in all the aroma.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Wow, what a lovely home you
trash
got
bag.
here. Wow, this is fucking... That room down there in the corner is... Wow, that's cool, cool.
This is this fucking like
Oh
what
my
is this called? What
God.
is this called?
I
is
like
something
how
I had an
it's
idea for when I
separated
got here.
now. Like... But you can still see everything as you walk around.
Mm-hmm.
This is really cool. Oh my God, you have business desks for your
being the guy
salespeople.
that decorated our entire house, my immediate fucking thought was, how much did this cost?
Probably
you
a
have
shit
to-
ton.
How much is this house worth?
So like everything down there is easy 500
Oh
easy
my God, 500K?
with
That's
all the
fucking
little stuff.
gorgeous, man.
Insanity.
It's
That
like,
is wild.
This is like a zoo, like a habitat thing. You're just looking in all the cases.
Did I just hear a gunshot?
Yeah, it's a rough neighborhood.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm fine. This is real. Wow, this room is sick too. There's fucking beanbaggy chairs. That's what these things are, right? Beanbaggy?
Feedback chairs, yep.
Wow. Is this the computer nerd room? I think I found the computer nerd room. They made an IKEA? Literally.
this is
It's
one
so
of my favorites.
cool. It's the computer nerd room.
Oh, this is definitely computer nerd shit.
Yep.
And then this room is my favorite because of that piece on the back wall.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That's really fucking cool. What do you have to buy? Like, what's that called?
It's all walls.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my. What?
Diva is
That's crazy.
absolutely insane at decorating. She's
She needs to have a
crazy.
business of just
I like
decorating
that
for
thing up
people
there.
too.
That thing is pretty sick.
and there's this room.
Yeah,
What
this
is
is
she
cool. This
doing?
is like a bachelor pad situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then all the
I'll be taking $1, thank you.
all the little squares at the top.
Oh my God, I can't type.
God damn.
Yoink.
Yep, yoink.
And this one's good because I like the canopy. Like
Oh
the,
wow, this is really cool.
I like that
the
painting.
books.
Yeah, this is just amazing.
I was so confused.
Yeah, I think the whole for one, I apologize for Santana. The whole him saying we don't get it thing the entire time was extremely unnecessary, uncalled for. I think at the end of the day, he was the one that didn't get that we got it. And at the end of the day, after that whole thing, what he didn't realize was that we were just keeping it separate, like the business is separate, and that was his point. But we had been saying that from the beginning, that we keep our businesses from our crime group separate. Like we would, you and I, we would have our businesses would have a business relationship. And then, you know how you have a crime group and we have a crime group technically? I mean, like they just wouldn't be related, you know?
Exactly.
And I don't know why he couldn't, like, he was just so caught up in things that he was like, you guys just don't get it. You guys just don't get it. But at the end of the day, that's what we literally said from the beginning. Yeah.
Even when it comes to like, even if we like had a deal, like I wanted to work sanitation as like, cause I'll be putting a lot of time into this. I like doing it. I like doing sanitation. Like it's no like extra gain for me other than it's a day job. Right.
Exactly.
Like,
It's a getaway.
and yes. And that's what I view it as.
But
Like
also,
even all my materials, like I'm sitting on what, close to 1,500 to 2,000 materials right now at the yard. I'm not going to use them here because that's not the agreement that we made.
yeah.
I'm very much like if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to honor it.
But also the idea that I have, so it is beneficial for you, is any materials you bring, any of your guys that you want to bring in and have like a division under LSD, we would save all those materials, keep them separated from everything else that we got, and those would solely go towards your guys' contract with us. It's kind of the plan. That way it seems like it's more, we're both gaining from this. That way we can definitely for sure fulfill the needs of your contract while also taking up our other contract that we have, because before this wasn't something that was viable because we just didn't have, it's not the manpower, it's just like the sheer amount. A lot of our people just weren't coming around. Sometimes it's iffy, but if we have, you know, a division of your guys underneath LSD who sell, you know, at the same price you do for 6.5, and then you bring it to me, I sell it to you guys for 8 for your contract, and you guys can do it on your basis. At the end of the day, it's like that, those will definitely for sure going towards your contract, but whatever you guys don't bring in, we'll be fulfilling. The rest of us will just be fulfilling the rest of the contract. That way you're always getting the materials you need. You'll never be like having to go to other people ever again being like, I need this many materials. We'll always have it for you.
It was just, I think it caught me off guard because, like, I don't think he understands that the people that are involved in things that are not the business are not going to be working or doing those things out of this, out of the business. Like,
what he thinks is that you're a puppet and that you might be the CEO on paper, but you're not the one making decisions.
Oh, no. It is my call. Like, pricing, us doing a deal together, like that. This is all me.
Yeah.
Like, because there's other relationships where they may have gotten materials in other places, but I'm making the call to work with you guys because I like you guys and I respect you guys. Like, it's business. I'm definitely not a puppet. I don't even.
And I don't think you are either. I just don't think Santana gets. I think to him, with the whole situation of them doing them doing you dirty, and then he's sus. Like, if they had never done you dirty, if they had never kicked you out, and they just had made you CEO, I feel like it might be different for him. He'd be like, hell yeah. But because of all that shit going down, and then this all, switching up real quick, them giving you CEO, he's very suspicious. He feels like it's too good to be true. And that's why he feels like you're a puppet and you're being controlled by the people who are taking control of the strings and whatnot.
No, it's all me. I've got to do the employment. I've got to do everything. Like, I'm so invested in making sure that this works. Like, I want to employ and give as many jobs as I possibly can, right? Here's the difference between the company I'm running and the other furniture companies. They have in-house people that are doing their lumber. They have in-house people that are doing their sanitation and getting materials. They have in-house people that are going and getting their fur. They all do it under one umbrella. It's like 4 or 5 people. That's not.
It's not sustainable.
Vision.
It's not sustainable long term.
Well, not only that, the best. I think. I just want to be a place where somebody can be like, oh yeah, well, I could go work for the lumber company doing lumber and sell it to them, right? They don't have to be necessarily in the lumber company or employed, but they could be like, oh, I'll go chop wood and sell it to the lumber company because I'll pay them good prices for it.
Yep.
Same thing with mats. Like, I'm not going to go out there and get my own mats, and it would be, I could definitely do it. But I don't want to, right? I don't. I would much rather somebody that knows the space and it's that their profession, long. I would rather go to somebody that
He's
puts their
very
heart in it every
+1
day
RP.
than me just, cheesing it, if that makes sense.
It makes complete sense. No, I'm in the same boat, to be honest, and I think the way people are doing things, like, I get that it's it's expensive to kind of do it this way, or they view it as like, I can just go do this all by myself, but at the end of the day, how much are you spreading yourself thin if you're doing it all? Are you gonna be able to do this long term? What happens when you burn out? And I think doing it this way is how you are able to do it for the long term and have it be a sustainable business. I don't think people really take that stuff into account. They're just viewing like, oh, I'm saving this many dollars, and kind of writing off everything else because of the profits they see coming in. But what they're gonna realize is that it's not something that they're gonna be able to keep up consistently, to be honest.
People get bored, and it takes the next shiny thing for them to be like, nah, fuck this.
Word them later.
I think people underestimate my tenacity and the drive that I have. If I'm passionate about it, there is no burnout. It's just the next day. I got to figure it out. Like, I could definitely get frustrated with a lot of things, but it's not going to deter me away from the job that I have and the job that I have for others. Like, if I have employees and I have people around me that I employ and pay each week, then it's my obligation and duty to make sure that they're taken care of and that I'm here to take care of them, right? Because that's what I believe in as being ahead of a company is, you take care of your people.
Yep.
Like, I see how you take care of your people. I mean, I'm in the exact same way. Like, if somebody is on my payroll, then then I make sure that they're happy and I make sure they're paid and I make sure that they, they're eating well. So,
and that's why I have the utmost confidence in you, because I feel like we have the same general mindset revolving around business and how we do things and keeping it separate from the criminal shit. And yeah, I think Santana was also worried about, low key, maybe you not meeting up with the end of the deal, and I was like, I'm not really worried. If need to be, we can write up contracts. I don't think you'd ever break your word or a contract or anything, to be honest.
no.
I think we have, and I hope you know too, that I wouldn't do that either. Like, I will always hold up my end of the deal as well. I think, honestly, I think that whole thing came from, keep it between you and me and Boo, that whole thing kind of came from his maybe feelings about what when he felt the lumber code did him dirty, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of sensed that. I didn't want, because like I said, it's all water under the bridge. I thought,
It's the
when we had
lumber
that
company
talk behind the house, that it was kind of done. Like, I'm not one to hold a grudge, or if a conversation happens and it's all out in the air and everything's good, then it doesn't get brought up again, because it doesn't need to be. It doesn't. If, like, once the light's been turned off, there's no reason to go turn it back on.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not part of any of the criminal stuff. I don't have any interest in it. Even whenever I was doing moonshine, I did the least
risky.
Yes, part of it, right? I don't have any interest. Like, my interest is staying clean and working an honest job and things like that.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm gonna run this company. Like, I want to keep it. I wholeheartedly understand him when he says that there'll be competition and that people will be like, oh, well, your prices are too high. And I'll just tell them, if you can find a better price, go find a better price. That's literally every business ever. That's how competition works. You go to the grocery store and you see milk for $5. You go to a different grocery store and see it for $3. You'll just buy the one that's $3. You're not going to be like,
Yeah.
oh, your milk is too high.
I don't realize
So-
what the problem is too. Isn't I thought it was more of a problem when people undercut it, not when people were overpricing, because people will just go to the competition for cheaper.
Exactly.
Like, I think Santana was like, oh my god, they're gonna come after you for not selling at their prices. Well, isn't that normally the case for undercutting and not, you know, overpricing? Like, that doesn't really make sense to me.
And what's crazy is in terms of our prices, like, because I've done all the math on that, even with other furniture companies out there, we're still very competitive. We're maybe $200 or $300 off, but we also employ people. We also employ, pay lumberjacks for wood. We pay you guys for materials. We don't go out and do it ourselves. It's all contracted out or it's all outsourced because, we sell furniture. You guys sell mats. Lumberjacks sell wood. Things like that.
Exactly.
So,
He gets it.
we may be on the more expensive side of things, but we also sell experience. We have the showroom. People come in to see the showroom. They like seeing the furniture there in front of their face instead of on a website. Like they like seeing the ideas that they can do with their room, bouncing it off the people that set up the showroom. Like there's a lot of things that we have that's going to keep us in business for a while, and that is the experience that we sell. Like
Exactly, you get what you pay for.
yes,
Yeah.
we sell the experience. We're very cordial and on time with anything that we sell. Like we there's certain times where if you buy like $10,000 to $12,000 worth of furniture, we throw in a couple things for free because we know that furniture is expensive. Like it is what it is.
That's how you build relationships and you have customers coming back to you.
Yes, it's how you that's retention at its finest.
Yeah.
Is you keep people wanting to come back because you give them a good experience. You give them that opportunity to go out and tell a friend, oh, hey, I did this or I got this from the Lumber Co. They was real nice and they gave me this. Like when it comes to like marketing, like word of mouth advertising is probably the best when it comes to putting yourself out there, because if you can give good experience and people go and spread that good experience to other people, it's just it'll spread like wildfire.
Yeah. And I think the reality of it is, how Santana was so pressed about you selling higher than these other people? I think if you're basing your prices around the prices of materials that we're selling to you, honestly, you don't, by the way, if we do this contract, we gotta keep it on the down low, you know what I mean? But truly, if you just say I'm basing my prices around me buying materials because I don't have people in my business going and getting it for me, and that's why prices are higher, they should understand that you're not trying to shift the market differently from what their prices because you want to, but because you have to make profits.
Yes, we have to make profits and we have to pay people.
Yeah.
People understand that when we tell them, yes, it may be on the higher side, but you buying this couch and this bed is, feeding somebody.
This is the
it's
legit
not going
side,
directly all in our
the no
our
criminal
pockets.
side
Like,
of the lumber union.
There may be times that I may reach out for people like investors and things like that, because it would be nice to have, a few select people to kind of look at the analytics of, where the money's going. Just so there's proof, like you can see, even as my position, like whenever, because I was working on percentages today and what I want to pay people to make it worth their time. My percentage of the any of the is 2 to 3%. I don't want shit. I've got my cars, I've got a house. I don't need a bunch of things, right? I would much rather put that money back into the company, or I would much rather put it into the pockets of the people that are here working.
Exactly.
That's how I want to do it.
And that's definitely the way to do it, honestly. I don't know. Yeah, I think that kind of covers all of his concern. Oh, I guess another concern was he thinks that you probably the situation has changed where they're all selling, you know, cheaper than you, and you're selling for more. Do you think you'll be able to get customers? Is what he was worried about. He's like, I don't think people are gonna be coming to the Lumber Co. because they're fucking scamming. I don't think you guys are scamming. I think you're just basing your prices off materials and everything else.
There at least 4 to 5 times a week we clear 40 to 50 grand a day.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to worry about.
Yeah, it's
Santana,
it gets reinvested.
Santana doesn't know enough about
because,
business.
there is cost, but
but he doesn't need to because he's not.
We have a client base.
He doesn't do
we
business
have
really.
People that come to, buy furniture directly from us because they like the way that we do business.
Yep.
I mean, we don't have a fancy website, and we don't necessarily need any of that. We have the showroom. That's our website. We have the physical experience instead of a virtual one. So.
Man, it's different from all these other furniture companies and whatnot. So,
like, I'm 100% fine with competition. Like, it's gonna happen. There's no way that I can sit here and say that I'm going to stress myself on trying to monopolize, the furniture market, because it's never going to happen. People are always going to have ideas. People are always going to try to capitalize off their ideas, and that's just how it is. But the way that you set yourself up for success is you set yourself up for longevity, to where when the people that, are trying to make that quick buck in furniture get bored, you're still there, because it's always going to be needed. The furniture is always going to be needed. Materials are always going to be needed. Wood's always going to be needed. Like, it's just who can outlast who.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't have anything to worry about. I'm gonna bring this all to the board tomorrow, I'm hoping, and then I'll have word for you the next day. But I truly think there's it's a win-win situation for both of us. I don't even see any. I don't know. You can mention them to me if there is any downsides, but I don't really see any, honestly.
Yeah, it's good business, and as long as it stays business, then it's going to be fine. Like, as long as, and I know you have that, and I have that understanding. Like, if it's just strictly business and it's on the business side, there's nothing to worry about.
Exactly. And I think you and me both, since we're so on the same page, if we ever thought one of us was getting it twisted of any sorts, we'd just have a conversation. But I don't even see how it would get to that point, I think this is just how we run business in the first place. This is why we, as people, were put into positions as CEO, because we kind of just understand and know how to keep it separate.
It's very easy to be a pessimist and kind of think of the worst. But
he's right.
Honest,
Santana was thinking about things that haven't even happened yet.
Thinking that way instead of kind of letting some optimism kind of sprinkle into your life and be like, oh yes, this could be a good thing. I've been told by Jack and a few people that there are times that I can be naive, but I'm very much a face value person and take people at their word.
Why and Cloak are very similar.
It's like the one thing somebody has, right? And once you break that trust, I'm done. And I just move on, and I learn. But it's so easy for people to kind of just be negative about things instead of kind of seeing where it goes. Like, if something was to happen, right, and something happens to where we don't work together, it's not like I'm just going to be like, oh fuck LSD or any type of shit like that. I mean, the business, if the deal didn't work out, why would I be upset or like anything like that? It would just be, damn, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I'm not a very vindictive person.
I
Like there's
agree.
the conversations happen, and conversations usually will fix things 9 times out of 10.
And I think
I
we will
mean,
always have conversations too. That's just like how we are as business people.
yep.
Yeah, I'm not worried in the slightest, and I'm actually looking forward to bringing up this in the board meeting. Um, I don't know. I'm looking forward to us also, like, I mean, I know you worked with us with the LSD and you still plan to, but just like also getting like doing more work just with giving you guys materials, because I've always wanted to give you guys more, but we weren't able to at one point. But now I can basically guarantee that we can. So
Yeah, I've been doing our proposal. I'm making sure like I've got so much cooking,
oh,
inventory wise, form wise.
I would love if I could get numbers on like kind of maybe the average of how many materials you need per day.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, that way I just have numbers going into the board meeting.
I'd have to do, because where I've been away, I'm not sure. I'd have to do like a control and kind of see over the next couple of days
Yep.
of what gets hit most. But I think a lot of that's going to come to, I'll be able to give you some very finite numbers within, the next like week and a half whenever I have the inventory systems and, form systems that I'm building. That way I'm going to have it down to the penny.
He has not mentioned
I'm
his
going
blueprint.
to have analytics ran to where I can see, which material gets used the most, or, what are we selling more of? What are we selling less of? Is there anything that we can kind of put on sale for a minute? Like it's that's what I said, my tenacity. Like whenever I dive in, I dive in.
Yep.
And it'll be a machine.
Hell yeah. I mean, and if you need anything from me too, yeah, I'm just gonna work on making sure we get those materials. And the nice thing about LSD is, I put some really amazing people in place who, even like when certain people take days off, we still meet those quotas because we have those people. Hell, I mean, I was gone for a week and business was still running smoothly without me. So I think that goes to show that you're working with, I don't know, people who can always get you what you need, even when, I guess, I'm not around or Mr. Lang isn't around.
For sure. And even if like, because like I said, I still do not mind to like even if something doesn't come up, like where if something doesn't get worked out and we still just buy mats, like because I would always come to you for mats, period.
He's so nice.
I would still very much like to work and sell whatever I make back to you guys, because it's mine. I see it as like my 9 to 5, like it's my time away. Like I enjoy it. I like the people that I do it with. It's good conversations. It's a good time every time. And so it's it is a job, but it's also kind of an escape for me. A very, very needed and good one. So
Of course. Yeah.